Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Crazy Tek Talks. I'm your host, João, Novo. With me today is a special guest, my good friend and renowned 3D artist and graphic designer, Daniel Rocha. Daniel, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm thrilled to be here again.
Nice. So today we've got something fascinating to discuss. The tech world has been abused with a talk about the new Vision Pro, uh, developed by Apple, and we are here to dive into it. We'll be exploring this from our unique perspectives, myself from the tech side, and Danielle from the design viewpoint, graphical interaction, UI, UX. So, uh, we are going to kick things off with a few key questions. We have not had a chance to work directly with the product, but we are keen and we will speculate on how things will be and with our perspectives on the topic. So let's dive into it. So okay, let's go to the first question. So we go right ahead to the topic. What makes Vision Pro stand out from its competitors in terms of performance and user experience? So go ahead, I give you the stage.
Well, thank you once more. So Vision Pro has a lot of things, and I mean a lot of great stuff. One of the highlights that I would say would probably be the AR, VR aspect to it. I mean, for the first time we're seeing a literal computer that you put on your eyes and can either be for AR, augmented reality, or can even immerse you can even immerse yourself into the metaverse, into VR with it, and it's new. It's
Yeah.
something that hasn't been done yet.
No. Actually, it has been done. Like Meta from the Facebook company that's now called Meta.
Hmm.
They have their own technology, the Oculus Quest or Oculus Quest Pro, Oculus Quest 2 and
Yes,
3.
yes,
Uh,
but it's different.
it's totally different. They have that, but I will give you my perception in terms of software and hardware of the Vision Pro, which is they are completely into different leagues. While Meta is trying to be like affordable in terms of pricing towards the customer and making like everyone use virtual reality, uh,
Hmm.
Apple with the Vision Pro, I think they kind of changed the market in a way because they, instead of making just one chip to do all the processing, they created a special chip to process all of the camera's input and make it a more usable experience. Because one of the things,
Yes, definitely.
yeah, because one of the things that you might encounter while using VR, and I'm a VR developer, my thesis is in VR, I develop a VR game. So the thing with VR and the huge problem with it is you need to take in consideration uh, the the process, the performance of the game that you are developing, for example, or the application, and it can really affect and in a bad way the end user if you develop a bad experience, um, and it can
Definitely, yes.
cause motion sickness, and motion sickness in my opinion is one of the worst things that you can experience in virtual reality or augmented reality because it tricks your brain and makes you feel um, really,
Nauseous,
yeah,
yes.
nauseous during the day.
Even in normal games without the VR AR
Mhm.
aspect, there's a lot of motion sickness that developers are always trying to take into consideration. One thing that I should point is that I have no programming, no technical background. My background is purely on the graphic design. I have some product design, I,
Yeah.
which is what I studied in college, and I and 3D basically. So the aspect that I can comment is definitely the user experience, and I believe Apple's Vision Pro is the main focus, is the user experience, the focusing on productivity and
Yeah.
immersing the immersing people both in AR and VR, and I think that's what's different because up until this point, AR wasn't that much evolved in a sense that it was actually uh, usable, like comfortable to use on a more practical base.
Yeah.
And now with Vision Pro, you at one moment you can be totally AR, and just from a click or two or rotating a button,
Rotating a
you're
nozzle.
fully immersed, and that's that's definitely something that we haven't seen up until this point. And definitely the user experience is their focus there, like how can we immerse people in a comfortable manner.
Yeah. And
And
yeah, go ahead, go
yeah,
ahead. Sorry, sorry, sorry.
and no, and in a way that it actually looks good, because it's really a hard thing to have a computer in your eyes and make it feel comfortable. I can I can't even imagine the headache that was for the developers that trying to create a machine and design it in a way that is comfortable to use on your eyes. For instance, use watching a movie. A movie has like 2 hours. uh, that means that you'll have that Vision Pro on your head for 2 hours. So that must be comfortable for the user. And like you said, the motion sickness, they have to try and fix those sort of things for watching a movie, for instance.
And
And it's really a pain to make a full computer like comfortable on your head without waiting too much after a while, and being comfortable while having the space. And that's the tricky part, is having the space for the cameras,
sensors,
the
yeah,
screens,
everything.
all of the hardware that is necessary to actually read your face, to read the your entire space, and make it practical in the AR perspective. For instance, you have the apps flowing in front of you,
Yeah.
and the apps will actually cast shadows. So that has to be some level of readability that is it's really crazy to think of.
Yeah, they have like from the presentation that they held on the WWDC, they showed I think 9 sensors at the front and like 4 at uh 2 per eye, I think. Uh yeah.
Well, I'm not sure, but still,
Yeah, it's a lot.
that's
It's a
pretty.
lot.
Yes, that's pretty crazy. Like having all of that pointing at you, and pointing at your space, and while making it like tiny enough that it's comfortable to use. I mean, it can it can't get tinier than that. I mean, it's
It
really,
can. It
it
can in the
can,
future, but right now
but
we
it's
are,
really
yeah.
compact. Like it's really at its max functionality for the moment, for the technology that we have available
Yeah.
at this moment. It's really compact, it's really functionable, it's something crazy.
Yeah, in my opinion, it's like a masterpiece of technology
And
development.
engineering,
Yeah, engineering. It's like it's
it's
a masterpiece.
yes,
For the time
absolutely.
being, I know that maybe in the future we decrease the chip size. Maybe batteries will be they will store a lot of energy, and maybe in the future you'll be able to wear it like 24/7 and give you.
Yes, that's definitely a concern because we use a normal headset
Yeah.
to work and for meetings and even just to listen to the materials that we have to the courses and stuff like that
Yeah, yeah,
in order to work. So we have this like a lot of time, and after a while you can really feel the weight on your head. So this is just a headset. Imagine having that computer on your head for 3 4 hours. Like, it's a lot.
I know, I know.
It's not sustainable yet, and that's definitely something that they need to keep improving. And I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will,
I'm also
because
sure they will. Yeah.
that's the thing. It's to boost your productivity in work. To have you don't need to be in a chair. You can be walking from in your around your home, like making some exercise while you're still watching and working on stuff that you need to get done. And that's the thing that I think they nailed it. They nailed it up until this point. It's the productivity aspect of it. It's pure functionality, and making the user experience comfortable for that productivity, and it's definitely a big boost.
Yeah.
Like the fact that you can have meetings and use your entire space as your canvas for, like, okay, I can put this here, that here, that here, there, and you can work like at your will and define your own space.
Your
You know,
workspace, and you're not.
it's definitely,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you can be fully immersed, or you can just
Be there.
be there.
Yeah.
It's something really crazy.
Like my perspective on that is basically you are not constrained on the space, on the space that you work on, because like, yeah, I work on my bedroom. I use my secretary, I use my my table basically.
Mhm.
I But I work on a laptop, and okay, that's a good thing. I can go to another part of my house and work from there. But
Yes.
let's say that you are fixed on a table and you are using a desk computer. So with that, like, you are kinda, let's say, you are kinda constrained by that. But if you have a laptop and you have that those glasses, the Vision Pro, you'll be able to have like a triple, I don't know, like a 49-inch monitor, like,
It's your choice. It's your
yeah, like
choice.
you can
You
have
can, you,
multiple
you can
monitors.
work in a tiny monitor, or you can make it as big as you want it.
And I think you can also put multiple, like, multiple monitors, screens
Yes.
basically
Yes.
in the
Yes.
VR headset. So you are working on your laptop or computer with like uh, two screens without having them, and
The accessibility,
yeah,
it's definitely crazy. Like, one aspect that I can definitely mention is, for instance, when I'm working in Blender or Photoshop, I need to have a lot of tools available, like like that. Like, I can't just waste time. Okay, let me go here and let me grab that here and there and that. No, I have to have it like at the tip of my finger.
yeah,
And in while I try to organize the workspace of Photoshop, what I end up the end result is that my canvas itself, it's like really tiny, because the rest of the space is being used by
toolbars,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, yes, like the tools that I need to have at the tip of my fingers. So that's a metaphor, like an analogy for the rest of the workspace, because it's a lot like that. Like, we need to have things like really accessible at no time. and it drives us mad when we have to, okay, let me minimize that, let me grab that, and we end up wasting, like, it's mildly infuriating.
Yeah,
It's one of those things that it's mildly, but in the big run ends up making a lot of difference in the long term.
I know.
So having your entire space as your workspace and giving your canvas the space to breathe, i can I can really see how that helps. How you can be like fully immersed in the work without having to break that workflow, because when you're fully in the work mode, there's things that kind of break you out of it. And with this, I think it's like I've said, it's productivity at its fullest. It allows you to fully immerse in that workspace without having to break that mindset, that work mentality, just to grab a tool that could be already there in a
Mm,
more utility
yeah,
space.
yeah. So I think we already answered the question, like what stands out from the competition. Yeah. So let's go to the next question, and I think we have made some nice points for the Vision Pro, and I think we will keep doing them. And I also have one question and one concern. I wish, and it's not the kind of question, but the only problem that I see right now from like uh not affordable solution, but from a perspective of not accessibility but user adoption is the
Hmm.
price. I
Yeah,
think it's
the inclusivity is definitely not there.
yeah.
The inclusivity, but that's I believe they are aware of that, because and that's a risk they are taking, because I mean there's all kinds of projects, not only in VR but in cars, for instance,
Yeah.
where there are projects where the first ones that come out are really expensive and are really focused on getting the funds necessary in order to mass produce for the rest of the people. Like I think that's it, it,
I
it
think that's
has
the main
always
goal. Yeah.
it has always been like this. Like the first innovative product that comes out, it's really expensive, and after a while it becomes like more affordable, because technology is evolving, and the company itself was able to get the funds necessary to mass produce in a more affordable aspect. So I believe that they are aware that it's too expensive and that it definitely isn't for everyone. I think they are aware of that, and it's a risk they are taking to get the funds, I suppose, and to showcase the
Product.
potential it has to be developed, because we won't stay here. Like, this is not the ideal product. It's pretty amazing, but like you said, it has a few drawbacks that definitely needs work, and I think that's the strategy that they are going for. If
Yeah.
I made myself clear.
Yeah, yeah, you may like, and from a speculation standpoint, the name is called Vision Pro, right? And we know that Apple tends to make like some products like affordable, cheaper alternative. Like in iPhones, you always have like iPhone SE. It's the affordable version, basically. In MacBooks, you have MacBook Pro and MacBook Air. So
Yes.
in iPads, the same thing. So I can see like they showcase like the Vision Pro, and in the future they might come out like 2 years from now, 3 years from now. I think 2 years from now, with Vision Air, because they will want to make people want to use their technology, because they create like in terms of productivity, in terms of when they touch something, they make it the Apple way, and they make it
Yes,
amazing for the user.
and it's and that's it's what I've already said. Like their focus is above all quality.
Yeah,
And what is that quality? Is the user experience and the productivity aspect of it. It's simply amazing. The amount of engineering, the design of it, the the way they could innovate this, it's simply amazing. And Apple has like that banner of quality. I mean, even if some products from Apple are kind of expensive, the quality is definitely there. Like they try to make it worthwhile the money you
yeah,
spend there. Like it's a lot of money, but it's not something that if you buy you end up regretting at
yeah, most of
in
the time.
most cases, at least up until now. I don't want to I don't
Yeah,
want to put
yeah,
my
like, but that's the Apple way,
yes,
basically.
it's definitely the quality.
Yeah.
It's
So
there.
let's go to the second question. There's been a lot of talk about the immersive interaction feature in the Vision Pro. Can we break
Hmm.
down this feature? How it can enhance the overall VR and AR experience? The immersive interaction. I think this is about the new input way, because up until now, no one in the VR AR community, basically developing headsets, they were using this type of eye track eye tracker to like be one of the main input mechanisms to select apps, and yeah, they are being developed like eye trackers for headsets, but not as a main tool of input. So uh how can it enhance the overall experience? I think, like, from a developer standpoint, I think it's like Marcus Brownlee said, it's like black magic, and it's amazing. I think it's an amazing feature. It will come with a lot of difficult ways for game developers to create something, some type of games to use that type of technology. I know it can be used in some places, but yeah,
Yeah, I can't even imagine the pain that must be.
yeah,
But yeah, definitely that's some. It has a lot of potential, but it's like you said, like
it
it's
has some
still.
drawbacks. Yeah,
Yes, and it's really hard to develop something like that.
yeah.
Like I can't imagine the pain.
Okay, third question. Let's go. With VR and AR technology, user comfort is often a concern. How has Vision Pro addressed the issue of user comfort in this new product? Uh, you can go. I think, I think we already answered this one.
Yes, we've explored that. The fact that they try to make it as compact as they can, and
Lightweight.
they use those breathable textures like
The
the
straps
big
for the
yeah
yeah.
yes, and but still is not perfect. I mean, I don't have one. I've only seen videos like
Yeah.
Marcus Brownlee and other people that have tried it, and that's a drawback that they said that it's actually quite heavy. And I mean, it's only natural. It's literally a computer in your head,
Actually,
and
they are two computers, but yes.
like it's really difficult for an engineer and a designer to actually make it as comfortable as they can, because there's a lot of things that actually need to be there, like the eye trackers, the camera
Sensors,
sensors.
yeah.
Yes, all of the screens, like that has two screens,
Per each per eye, yeah.
the out and the inside one. Like it's really difficult to design it in a manner that it's comfortable. So that's one of the challenges of making it like as tiny as possible and as comfortable as possible.
Yeah, and
But I mean,
lightweight. Yeah.
but they have like there's the thing there that you can adjust like how long you want it, and it actually can fit your face particularly well. It's one of it's standard things that designers try
To
to make it
accomplish.
more
Yeah.
comfortable, yeah. But that's definitely something to think of, because if they really want to boost the productivity, like people need to be capable of using that like for an entire morning, like of meetups, like meetings, working on whatever they are working. Like imagine if you can't have that headset for like an entire morning working on that, you know, it's really difficult to boost that productivity in its fullest potential,
Yeah.
because it definitely boosts some productivity, but not as it might if it were more comfortable. I don't know if I'm making.
Yeah, you are making yourself clear, but one of my main concerns, also with the Vision Pro, not concerns, but uh, things to thought, is basically the battery of the device is external, which means that in the future they might create some new battery that lasts 4 hours instead of only 2 hours. Yeah, and I think
Yes, yes, yes.
because the version that is being shipped, the battery for the device, it only lasts 2 hours. But since it's an external battery, they might be able to like uh increase the battery capacity. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah. But in
Yeah,
terms of
because
comfort, sorry, but in terms of
no, no,
comfort,
no.
I think like only we can only speculate because we can't give a proper answer because we did not try it yet.
Yes, yes, that's it. That's it. Um, but that's the thing, because I'm sure you've had meetings that lasted like around 2 hours. Like
True.
imagine how annoying it would be. Like oh, the battery is running low. Let me just get out of the meeting and change to the computer and enter the meeting again. Like that can be certainly annoying. Or
Yeah.
even after a while, if it starts to weigh on your head, like even these headsets do. Imagine a computer, and after a while, I can be I can see it becoming tiresome
Yeah.
to wear that. Yeah.
Okay. Fourth question. Let's go.
Also, can I
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
add one thing?
Yeah.
It's the eyes, man. That's so creepy. The eyes.
Yeah.
It's
It's
so
so
creepy.
weird. It's so
Like
weird.
hey mom, hey. Like it's so creepy. Like
I'm
definitely,
watching you.
it's definitely.
I can see you.
They need to change that. Like either make it more clear, like totally as if it were transparent, like you can clearly see the tone of the skin and stuff like that, or even like don't show the eyes,
Maybe.
because showing a little bit of the eyes, it's so creepy.
It's creepy.
Like
It's creepy.
you see a bit of the eyes in the shadow, and it's like
I can see you.
what are you doing?
No, but maybe they if they can like uh if they can give you some type of perspective that the eyes are like inside of the head with some type of stretching. I don't
Hmm.
know. It's like a um no, it's visual effect. It's how it's called, like tricking the mind to thinking that it's perspective, basically.
Yes, yeah, I get what you're saying. Yes,
Yeah,
yes, that's definitely something that
they can
they could
do.
they could try. Yes, because the eyes in the shadow, in the bluish shadow, it's like
Weird.
it's really weird. I mean, I kind of get what they are trying to do. I mean, it can be cool having that bluish shadow effect, but the eyes they definitely
Yeah,
need to
it's weird.
change that, because like there's eyes popping out of the screen in the middle of that shadow, and it's really creepy. like
That can make a really nice enemy in a game.
like if you have a child of like 6 months and you get next to him and you're like, hello, like
Hello.
that child is going to have nightmares.
Yeah. Okay, we had some technical issues. So, yes. So let's get back. We were going to the fourth question. So, in terms of software, what compatibility and integration feature does the Vision Pro offer? Can user expect smooth operation with the various gaming and software platforms? I think,
Well,
yeah, go ahead. But I think we
no, no,
answered
no,
that.
yes, that's exactly what I was going to say. Like, we already answered that, because it's the aspect of you control things, you control your workspace at your own will. That's
Yeah,
definitely
we
what we
already
answered.
said. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, fifth question. What are your expectations in terms of developing games for the Vision Pro with the limited input capabilities? That's a good one.
Yes. I mean, go ahead. You first.
Okay. This one, like I said, yeah, it's hard. Maybe if they develop some type of accessories, or yeah, some type of controls that you can sync with the Vision Pro,
Hmm.
or if uh, any third party company can do that, so we can like play games in VR, uh, in the VR and AR world. I think it can be a good thing. I can see some VR games for the Vision Pro, like with a new type of interaction with the eyes. Like, let's say you have laser eyes and you are like Superman basically, and you are trying to destroy the world. You are not one of the good guys, but the bad one. So yeah, it can be fun. It could be one possibility, and also another type of interaction. Yeah.
One aspect that I would like to actually try. I mean, it must definitely be a pain to actually develop, especially for engineers to sync the eyes and the hand gestures of it. But one thing that I would definitely love to try and work on it would be creating an utility app for it. Like,
Mm.
how would it be the process of creating an utility app for that kind of system, like the AR, focused more on the AR aspect,
Okay.
where you can actually have that utility app open in your workspace, around
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
your space, and have it interact with the user. That's definitely something that I would love to explore, because there's so much possibilities of stuff that we can try. Because I mean, a lot of apps have been already created, like that's no question. You go to the Apple store
Right?
or the Play Store, and that there's all types of apps created by all types of people. And but all of that, it's limited to a screen in the phone. So how can we actually take advantage of an interactive UI, an interactive user experience of an app fully immersed in AR, VR. That's definitely something that I would love to explore because I don't know what limitations are. I would like to see what could be done, and I'm definitely curious to see what people are going to come up with in the long term. That's definitely something, especially on the productivity side, the productivity aspect of it. It's really interesting because for instance, in the UI UX perspective, when you're designing stuff, you're always thinking on a screen, like a computer screen or a
Yeah.
telephone, a cell phone, yeah. And when you're designing something like this, that you know that it can occupy a lot of space or just a tiny bit of space and has different interactions with the user, and it's something fully immersed. Like when you're thinking of that, there's a whole new world as an UI UX developer that you can explore that you definitely can explore with a screen like this size.
Yeah.
And I'm really curious to see what it's going to come up in the market in the long run.
Yeah. You mentioned apps, and I think if some apps takes advantage of the full 360 6 degrees of freedom movement, like X, Y, and Z, X, Y, and
Yes,
Z,
yes, yes.
and the
All the
rotation,
access, all the
yeah,
access,
all the axes
basically.
and the movement that you can, and you can be moving in the world actually.
Yes.
I think some apps will be actually really nice. Like I can see a lot of good apps coming to the VR, to the Vision Pro. Sorry. Yeah, yeah. I think.
I'll be able to play chess like 4D. Like I'll pet the horse and he'll go jumping. No, but
Maybe.
that's really it. Like taking advantage of it and developing an app that has the potential of of using the full potential of the Vision Pro. It's like and the next ones, not only this one, but
But
the next ones.
the next
The
iterations, yeah,
yes, definitely. I mean that it's something crazy. It's really crazy to see how much we're evolving in so little time, and
yeah.
like
2 3 years ago.
we are almost in the Sword Art Online world.
Yeah, we are definitely, I think we are definitely going there. Because our technology is evolving and how how things are becoming like mainstream in a way, which also increases the development and research of those technologies, tools to improve them, and a lot of people are thinking in creative ways to fix the problems that arise while using those platforms. And I think Apple really really killed it in terms of removing motion sickness from the equation. And yeah, I wish I had the money to try and have one because
Don't
I'm
we
real,
all?
yeah, but it's too
Yes.
expensive.
Yes, at the moment, yes. At the moment, yes. But in terms of VR, I I I really think like it's the same as AR. Like I mean I know that that I stated this, but I'm stating it again that I really love how they made it the AR aspect like really immersive. Like
Yeah,
I really loved like okay, you can use VR, and VR has a lot of potential and of great stuff that you can use for games and stuff like that. But the aspect, I really love that. Like seriously, making the uh, interacting with the reality, like the real world, interacting with the real world, like developing that potential. It's really something that that's it. We've never seen before in
Yeah,
this.
some type of interactions, and I think one of them you would love. Uh, let's imagine like Blender sculpting in virtual reality. I know there are tools that you can do that, but Blender sculpting in virtual reality, like you have a clay pot and you are like creating something with your bare hands, basically. Like,
Yes, and make
yeah,
it. That's the thing. The problem with that is that you can already sculpt in VR, but I don't find it as responsive.
yeah.
Like you're trying to guess what it might be and where you should point almost, and it's not really accurate. And with this type of sensors and high highs like readability of the eyes, and with this type of technology, it would be like really crazy to develop something like that, like sculpting things like with your hands, like some kind of
That,
pottery, like
yeah.
digital pottery. And it's really amazing what it can be done and where it can be explored, and not only for Blender but even for stuff like I mean Photoshop is it's different because when you're using a pen, like you really need to feel something. It's really weird if you don't feel something. But if you have like you can have a table or like a table with
Yeah,
nothing on,
it can
and you can
project.
project. Yes,
Yeah,
exactly. You can project stuff on it,
or in the wall.
and you can yes, or even in the wall. And I mean it's crazy to think the amount of possibility this gives. Like you only need to buy some cheap table, like, and you can get a big one, and the Photoshop canvas that you project on it can be as big as the table, like, and you
Oh,
can. It's really crazy to think the amount of possibilities that this has.
and the
Like,
things that it can create, like it has some depth sensors, like
yes,
lidar and all the sensors. And if you can take advantage of that type of information, for example, let's say that you are sculpting something, for example, not sculpting something, but you have something in your room or where you work, and you want to change the materials to see, okay, would this look good in like blue or white? Let me change the color.
yes,
It
yes.
can convert to 3D, and you are like changing the actual color, and maybe you can move it around and like sculpt it if you want.
Yes,
Some
like
crazy
for instance,
things
I don't
can be
like.
done.
Yes, I don't like my desk here. Let me move my desk there and see how it would like. It would look like.
Yeah,
Like I don't like my bed this way. What sort of bed would look good? Like it would be like sort of creating a Sims character where you're like
but you are the
shifting.
character and creating your own world, like, because it can detect the objects, and
Yes, yes, yes,
basically
yes, yes.
what you are seeing are the things that the camera, the outside cameras render from the world. And maybe you can remove things from the room and have it like in a VR way, in a AR VR, like removing all the things from your bedroom and placing them where you want them to be, just to have a visual representation of your room or any place, like any room. Oh
Yes,
my god,
I mean
that would be
even
amazing.
yes, even in the work perspective, like if you're an engineer or if you're like an architect and you're trying to develop something and see how this space would actually look, because we can always make things in 3D, like on a screen, and we'll generally have some sense of scale and stuff like that, but we, we can only feel it if we are there. For instance, if
Yeah.
I'm creating an environment, I can only have like the full notion of the space, like the scale of the space, and how it would make sense for that scene if I'm actually there. Because when you're watching things on the screen, if you're an artist, what do you tend to do? And this is what every artist does. Like you get like a normal human scale, like around um,
1.8 centimeters.
yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
meters,
basic.
sorry.
Yes. That's sort of it, like
Yeah.
180 centimeters, and you put it in the scene, and you try to see like
The
does the
scales.
scene, yes, does the scene make sense, like relating to that scale. But when you're able to be there and feel the space, something that would work in a screen might not work when you're there, and that's something that we can definitely explore, especially for VR. That's definitely it. Like it's and again, the fact that you have AR and VR in one, you can go from one to the other like really quick. And
And
so
create a
if
mixed reality one.
yeah, exactly. So if you need to check that, you can check it like really fast and come back to the real world to work to keep working. It's like something that, in terms of productivity in the like in the workflow, it's like really it can be really fluid.
Yeah,
It
and
can
it
be
can be a game changer, and I really want to have the possibility. I don't know if I will have the funds to buy it, but I really want, uh, because I think if we can create something like you are here in the real world, but without like you making something like running the application and creating the mixed reality one, where you can like create walls like the seams like you said, and start creating like some normal shapes like a cube, a circle, and you place it in the VR
in the
world.
space. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
and you create the 3D environment while you are there, so you have a sense of perspective, and then you go to your computer and you keep that scene because you were there, and just add materials or do something else, rearrange the scene, and again you are still in VR or not AR, whatever, and you just go
It's
check
mixed.
the scene. And
It's
yeah,
like you said, it's mixed, and that's the thing that I love. Like I really feel like AR wasn't as evolved as VR,
true.
and in terms of being immersed, like you can fully immerse in VR. It's not a new tech in that regard.
It's really old actually, but yes.
Yes, you could already immerse yourself in VR, but immerse yourself in AR, and if at your own will, have a mix of both. Like you can be
Yeah,
fully immersed, or just partially immersed, or just totally in AR but still immersed, like
yeah.
in that reality. It's really something new. That's what I think the Vision Pro nailed it. Like, and Apple focusing on quality, like it's definitely a tool to use. It's definitely a tool of the future.
Yeah, if any Apple engineer is watching, or Tim Cook is watching, you can send us the glasses. We can try it. We are
Yes,
here
we can
for
try.
that.
Definitely. I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, or Iris. No, JK. No, but I would love
Yes.
to experience the glasses and like seeing
Well,
seeing that.
not now, but I'm definitely at some point. I'm definitely trying it out. Like definitely,
Yeah, I
it's
think when they came out like next year, we can. I think we should and we might go to an Apple store and try it, at least try it, because
One thing that
yeah,
yes, yes, yes. One thing that I find it funny, it's like the first, like the first announcement, and after the first announcement, the people that are really excited about it are like the designers, are like the
the
digital
developers.
artists in
Yeah,
that world, and the engineers and the programmers.
yeah,
It's the developers are the only people that are like, oh, this is crazy, I want one. The normal people, like the common
common people.
person, who doesn't really understand how much of a game changer it is, which is normally, I mean, it's a fair thing. It doesn't it doesn't play a role in their day-to-day life yet.
Yet,
So
exactly.
so so, so that's a perfectly normal reaction to the normal person that is involved in this type of industry. So they only look at us and are like, these people are crazy, are spending a lot of money.
it, I can for sure tell you. I think it's the same approach. I think the Vision Pro is as much as a game changer as the iPhone was. I think it will change the way that we look into the future in terms of product, not productivity, but virtual reality and augmented reality. And I think they definitely nailed it.
Yes,
They
yes.
definitely nailed
Even if it is expensive at the moment, the potential that they were able to showcase
it.
was
Yeah,
amazing. One thing that I would like to comment about is the ethical aspects of it. Like, I really love the fact that it reads your face and it shows your face as if you don't have an Oculus, like as if you
yeah,
don't have
headset. Yeah,
an
yeah,
headset. Um, and I, I I like that, and the fact that it's able to read your entire space, and you can have everything at the tip of your fingers and stuff like that. But one aspect that I think it's important, and that I think Apple should be considering, at least to ease the some worries, is the privacy issue of that, because we can clearly see how that can affect someone's life in terms of privacy, because it's,
yeah. Nine
again,
cameras in your house.
it's
It's
the internet, and you're pointing a lot of cameras at yourself, pointing a lot of cameras
at your surroundings.
at your surroundings, exactly, and you're fully immersed, and we don't actually know precisely what type of information is gathering, and what type of information an hacker, for instance, can actually get through that,
Yeah, we
and
don't.
the type of damage that can be caused.
Yeah,
uh, so that's one thing that I am worried, not only about Vision Pro, but in this entire industry.
yeah,
Like, that that should raise some concerns among users, the privacy, because I really love the fact that our workflow, it's a lot more fluid than a few years ago. Like, we have everything in one place, like, and we can access everything fairly quickly. To we don't need to remember a lot of passwords and stuff like that, and
yeah. That's amazing.
we can have it all, like, really quick. And the type of privacy issues that can
Rise.
rise, it's something that I'm concerned. So it's something that I think developers should keep in mind and try to ease people's mind
I
in
think
that aspect.
I think Apple in their presentation did an amazing job while presenting it, because they Apple really focus on the end user and on privacy, and they are really concerned from a privacy standpoint to keep user data safe, and they are not recording like the space surrounding it. They are just using the sensors to keep track of things.
Yes,
I
yes,
don't know how much access
yes.
do
That's the thing.
apps have.
How much vulnerability does it have in terms of third parties, apps, and stuff like that? Like you
I
said.
like, it's Apple, and I don't think, maybe they can have some type of exploit, but it's Apple. While in Windows you don't you see a lot of malwares, eggs, viruses, but in Apple in MacBooks, it's really hard. Actually, it's not. Yeah, only if you
It's a
allow
different,
it.
yes, it's a different type of coding, you know. I mean, you understand that more than I
Yeah,
do, but it's nonetheless, I think is some. It's a point that they should make clear. Like we are aware of
they,
the
they
concerns.
they made
Like
it.
I know they are. Let me make that clear. I know that they are. Like it's security is one of the aspects. The includes quality, and Apple, it's all about quality. It's like the quality of the productivity and security and privacy, all types of
Yeah,
all things like that is in the quality aspect of it. But nonetheless, for the people that aren't really aware of that, that are concerned, and there are people that are concerned about those type of those aspects,
yeah,
and if they make it clear, like this is one of our banners, like
yeah. They made it.
you can definitely use this, and almost not 100% because there's
There's
always
always,
something.
yeah, there's
Yes,
always.
but you can almost be sure that you'll be
Yeah,
safe.
one of the things that they said was regarding to the browsing, and uh like you use your eyes to navigate the browser, right?
Hmm.
And one of the things that uh websites could make was like they could read where your eyes were looking at. And what Apple did and presented was like, if while you are browsing, basically we will have a canvas, a black canvas, so apps will not be able to track where you are looking at, but only when you click they will receive that input. So
Okay.
that
Yes,
is
yes, I
a
understand.
privacy and a security aspect that they are aware of, bad things that can arise, and I think they have that in mind. And I really want to see if it can be hacked. How can
Yes,
it be
like how
hacked?
much vulnerable are we
Yeah,
when we're using it? But that where you said, like, that's definitely engineering from the future. The fact that they can manage to do that, it's
yeah.
crazy. Like seriously, I don't understand. I don't understand almost anything in in engineering, but that's
They are
definitely
creating
crazy.
a
Like it's
masterpiece. Yeah. So let's we have two questions to go, and I think we'll finish it up. So given the capabilities of the Vision VR, Vision Pro, Vision Pro,
Mhm.
how do you speculate it might change the way that we approach software development? What potential challenges or opportunities do you foresee when it comes to building applications for this platform? I think we
Yes,
answered that.
yes, I've mentioned that as well.
Yeah, I
The
think
fact,
we.
yeah,
Yeah. Uh, Last question, and I think that's for you. As a designer, considering the features and possibilities of the Vision Pro, how do you think this technology can influence the design and creation of immersive experiences? Could you discuss any potential shifts in the design's approach or concepts that this new technology might necessitate. And I think you already answered, but if you want to uh, dig deeper or add something.
So it's what we've already discussed. Is like what we are seeing is a whole new thing. Like it's not a screen. It's something you can interact with. And when you are developing that, both in the design aspect of it and the artist aspect of it, is like how people will perceive it. It's everything is focused on the user experience, and what do we want the user to experience, to feel like what what, um, what is the purpose of what we are developing. Like is it an app, is it a game, and if it is a game, what do we want the player to feel, and
The
how can we
emotions, yeah.
design, yes, how can we focus like on optimizing it. And that's also another thing that I would like to explore, like how how much further can I go, because in VR we have to be like really optimized, like low poly things like environment and characters and stuff like that. It's really like
Yeah, every
uh,
polycount.
yes, exactly. And I would like to see how much further can can I push it in this type of
It's
VRs developed by Apple. Like, can we push it like a bit further and
I
see
think
like
so.
what we can get? Because that would be like really interesting. See how much further can we develop, for instance, in an environment, and in the designer aspect of it, like it's always about the user experience, the message we're trying to convey, what we are trying to make the person using it feel, and it's I believe it's that, and it depends again on the purpose. Like, are you trying to develop an app? If you are, what type of app it is, and how much can how much of the full potential of the Vision Pro do you want to use it? Like, do you want it to be something like fairly simple for a programmer, or do you want to be something like fully fledged engineering that uses all of the capabilities of the Vision Pro?
Yeah.
Like there's a lot that goes into it, and that's definitely something that I'm really curious to see in the future, and I definitely would love to be part of that development. Like try to develop stuff, things like apps and games, or even just uh, minor entertainment pieces, to see how how much can we explore that this new interaction with the user. So it's I'm definitely really curious to see.
I'm definitely really curious too. And regarding the games part, it's the Vision Pro as a M2 processor, and I think in terms of render capabilities, I think they are better than Oculus Quest. I don't have the Oculus Quest 3 or Pro, but I
I don't
think
have that information. I have no clue,
but I think
absolutely.
because Apple is becoming, and I think it will become one of the major pieces
Yes,
of
definitely.
games. But
I think I think they definitely um, made a statement towards that, definitely. Like this new technology that they developed can definitely be used in that sense. It's a huge turn.
yeah,
Like, I think even for a game, like the amount of possibilities that you have for a game, like what will the player use, like a controller or only his hands, and how, and is it 360, or like how can it be used? Like, what can we explore? It's definitely something interesting, depending on the game. Like, is it a simulation? Like, a lot of the fun in the beginnings of the VR was the train simulation, where you'd be like on a roller coaster. I think
Yeah,
that's the
yeah.
word, and you'd be like
Experiencing watching around and seeing the
yes,
world.
and you would feel like nauseous. Like I'm really
Yeah.
in a high stakes situation. Like
I,
this feels really weird and real, because you have the headset and you can really see the hear things around you and see like that's like moving, and you see the environment passing, and it's like really crazy. And that's one of the funny first experiences that people start to get into when they first heard about VR, was the train simulation. Those type of simulations are really interesting to see the capabilities of new technologies, and it's definitely something that I'm curious. Yes.
me too. And I think we leave it there. Amazing
Yes.
talk. Thank you for being here, and
No,
thank you for
thank you for inviting me. Like, it's always a pleasure to talk with you. Seriously, I really
okay.
like it.
Yeah, thank you. I'm sorry. It kind of the networking. I'm having some type of trouble, but
Yeah. Yes, it lacked a bit.
yeah, it lagged a bit. But we heard you, and like I will again say thank you for being here, and thank you for accepting the invite. And it was a really pleasant conversation about what Apple brought to the table, what the foreseeable future will be, and we just wait because we kind of need to wait 6 months for the release of the device. So uh, we are just speculating and giving our opinion
Yes,
on the matter. But yeah, thank you
a
for
lot
being
of it
here.
is speculation.
Yeah,
Thank you, thank you.
and hopefully when it comes out, maybe we can have a rich friend that we can contact and he can let us try it.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
I'm I'm totally up for it.
Or a sponsor. I don't know. Sure, Apple,
We're here.
we are here. I don't know if you see the videos, but we are here if you want to. Yeah, I really want to experience what Apple uh, is showing us. So thank you for watching. Keep coding, and I see you on the next one. And really thank you for being here again. Bye everyone.